Hello, welcome to easyodds.com. My name is Ross Casey. I'm here with the horse racing extraordinaire, that is...
Want to iron my shirt again?
Jake Johns.
Somebody already picked me up on that last time, and I'm sure they will again.
Ironless Jake Johns. So thanks very much for watching this new video, which is for the Grand National, the massive race at Aintree, Saturday the 8th of April, 5:15. We'll be going through that shortly, but just before we do, a quick mention of our sponsors, 188bet. We have a brilliant offer at the moment. Bet £10, get £30 free. So if you want to sign up with them, please do so with the link above Jake's head somewhere there. But now, let's get into the big race, Jake. We've been all about Cheltenham, and that seems like it hasn't even finished, and we're already into the Grand National.
Yeah, so obviously I had a pretty good Cheltenham. There's a winner's video you can find on YouTube somewhere. That's on our channel. So hopefully I can find the winner of this. I found Pinot de Rey a couple of years ago. That was exciting. That was the only time I've won the National, but time before that I had second. Last year I had second. Time before that I had second. I've had 3 seconds and a first the last 4 years. The system I go with is I usually pick 4 horses, so 1 every 10, with the the uniqueness of the race, the luck factor, the enormous field, the distance. I think it pays to pick like 4 picks usually in the Grand National. That might seem like quite a few to some, but it's worked out for me in recent years. Anyway, April 8th, that is the day, brings the nation together. Up in beautiful Liverpool, lovely, lovely city. People up and down the country will come together. Families will get talking / mostly arguing about who they think is going to win. Yeah. Everyone has their own techniques. Colour, that seems to work quite well sometimes. Name of the horse. The horse called Shakalaka Boom Boom, they used to run a couple of years ago and ran for a couple of years, always got absolutely hammered in the betting. Absolutely hammered. And he had no chance. He had no chance. He had no chance.
No chance! That's what you got!
And it's purely because of his name, and people cottoned onto that and they thought, he's definitely going to win with a name like that. Shakalaka Boom Boom, that's a beast of a name. And then obviously there's actually people that think, I'm going to actually probably look into it, go through the form and stuff, which is hopefully what I'm going to do. I'm not just going to sit here and be like,
best name
and best colour, see you later, 2 seconds in the video. But yeah, so yeah, I'm offered 2 tips now. Obviously, there's loads of entries still at the moment. So next week I'll be doing 2 more tips. They'll be on the Easy Odds site and on the app and on our Grand National standalone app as well. But for now, I'm going to pick 1 at the top of the market and 1 nearer the bottom of the market. Well, pretty far down actually, and quite near the bottom of the weights as well. So yeah, obviously the race was won by Rule the World last year for Mouse Morris, who is the absolute king at getting a horse ready for a particular race. There is no one other, and there's no other better than him, I would say. And he's got a couple of entries here, but the one I like, the first one I like in the Grand National 2017, is the horse I picked last year, The Last Samurai, at 16-1. He was a very gallant second in this last year. And he carried 12 pounds less. It's not sounding great, is it? But bear with me. He was a pretty young horse that last year as well. Obviously, he's got a lot more experience, and he's got experience of the track. And now he's a 9-year-old, which is basically a perfect age, or up there with a very, very nice age for the Grand National. He was given a really, really nice ride by David Bass that day on the front end. But Rue the World was given a simply put perfect ride by David Mullins. It really catapulted him onto the scene as one of the best young Irish jockeys, up-and-coming Irish jockeys. It pays to be on the front end of the Grand National. That's shown throughout the years. But The Last Samurai set a very, very strong pace at the start and then seemed to get in a bit of a battle with Many Clouds, which did for that horse on the soft ground. And it must have taken a toll by the end of the race, because they seemed to be taking each other on the final circuit. And yeah, it's such a long distance race. There's even the most Dallas there would have must have dented their chances. And he still was a very, very good second behind a horse that was given a perfect ride by David Mullins. So this year he's gone up in 12 pounds, like I said before. But even more so than last year, this has been very obviously since last year. This has been the plan. Even more so than last year, I'd say. His most eye-catching run came over this season, came over these fences. He obviously needed the run first time out in Ireland. And his most eye-catching run came over these fences in the Beecher Chase at Aintree back in December, the start of December. He was only a length behind eventual winner Vieux Lion Rouge, who is currently favourite for this at 10-1. Rock solid favourite as well. Beat back Black Lion at Haydock last time. But the only thing I would worry about him, he seems a different horse to last year, to be fair, and he could easily stay the trip. But I haven't seen him stay the trip yet. It looks like he'll probably stay, but I don't know, he's a little short for me at 10-1 when we don't know for absolute guarantee that he is going to stay. What was I saying? Vieux Rouge won the race that day, only beat the selection by a length, but he was actually giving Vieux Rouge £17 that day. He now gives him 12, which obviously makes him better off, seeing as he only lost by one length. One for Arthur is another one who's up near the top of the market, ran a beastly race last time, very, very good jumping performance, and is probably going to stay as well. The only thing I would say is coming from the back of the pack is pretty hard in the Grand National, like I said before. You can do it, it is possible, but you have to be a serious horse to do that. And he was getting £22 that day, and now he only gets 13. So on that form alone, if you just take that form, then we've got a humongous chance, especially seeing as he ran that day like he needs further now. Obviously, he's been seriously trained with further in mind. So you'd think he would be able to, even on those I would think even with those weights that they were given in the Beecher's Chase, I think he might be able to get the better of them if the race was over 4 miles plus. And now he's better off at the weights with them. So on that form, it's pretty decent. Last time at Doncaster, he was behind Definitely Red, who was superb again, ran a fantastic race, but he's another one who you're not absolutely guaranteed is going to stay. And the last time where I got badly outpaced, he looks like he's going to be tailed off before he stayed on. Really, really eye-catchingly at the end into second. Obviously, he's like 15 lengths behind Definitely Red, but even so, he obviously needs further. Basically, it seems to me like he needs further, so this race should be perfect for him. He loves the fences. He loves the trip. So I am pretty hopeful of at least a placed finish this time round. He's currently 16-1 best price. Each way, I'd say you're going to get top 6, top 5 with a lot of firms. I think that's pretty safe. As safe as a bet can be in the Grand National, which is not. Obviously, it could easily fall. You could get unseated. You could get hampered. There's so many things that could happen that are out of my control. But I would say 16-1 price at the moment. So that's the one at the top of the market that I quite like. Now, one near at the bottom of the market at an enormous 50-1. 11-year-old Saint R for Tom George. He was actually. I just got tweeted actually just before we started filming this by some guy that said he's a certainty actually. So he's a certainty to win because every time Wigan Warriors win the Super League, an 11-year-old wins the Grand National. It's written in the stars. Come on. Anyway, 11-year-old Saint Air for Tom George. The old boy fell in the Beecher's Chase this season, the race I was talking about before, won by Vieux Lion Rouge. Fell at the first, which is unlucky because he loves these fences. And the going went completely against him last year in the race, won by Rule the World, Last Samurai in second. There was a downpour just before the race, a couple of hours before. It was basically a bog, and he needs good ground, so basically completely hindered his chances.
Yeah.
Essentially giving him no chance at all. But the year before that, he was an absolutely fantastic second behind probably the classiest winner of the Grand National in recent memory, Many Clouds, who is basically a Gold Cup level horse. I mean, he beat Thistlecrack, and probably the dourest stayer around as well. So in any other year, he probably would have won. He just ran into a serious horse that year. And he gets here only £4 higher. He hasn't shown anything like that form since, to be honest. But last time he ran an eye-catching second at Doncaster. The form is working out badly, really badly from that race. But it was really eye-catching because he got headed off a lot. He got headed and he was like 5 lengths down. And then he stayed on again at the finish, making you think he obviously is further as well. He got outpaced. He showed a really good attitude that day. Real grit to knuckle down, get his head down. And just get touched off. he clearly loves these events. He's got a really good record around Aintree on good ground. He's actually a Grade 1 winning hurdler on good ground at Aintree. He loves Aintree. I just think at 50 to 1, it's probably worth taking a risk with him. Each way, obviously. But yeah, those are the first two I'm going to be going for. The Last Samurai, 16 to 1 each way, and Saint R, 50 to 1 each way, but I will be adding 2 more selections. And I have a kind of idea what I'm going to do, but I want to just see the race in, you know, when the declarations come out and just be like, okay, yeah. Obviously, like, not the final declarations, but I'll get more of a. I just want to look through every single horse really in detail. So yeah, get a feel for the race.
Excellent stuff. So there's 2 selections for the Grand National 2017 from our man Jake Johns, and a reminder about the importance of our odds comparison service. These 2 picks, 16 to 1 is the best price, worst price is 12 to 1, 50 to 1 for St R, worst price is 25 to 1, so that is a ridiculous difference in price. So make sure that you're not settling for less, make sure that you get the best odds using easyodds.com's odds comparison service, especially if you're using the Grand National app, which we'll have out. It's out now, and it's simple as, because it's just got 1 race in it, so you're only detailing yourself with no clutter, no football, no cricket, no golf, no other horse racing, just the Grand National.
Yeah.
So it's nice and easy, real easy to use. Grand National app. Search for it in the iStore, or we'll have a link underneath in the description. And once again, we are sponsored here by our friends 188bet, who have a great offer at the moment of bet £10, get £30 free. So that's pretty much a real great way to bet on the Grand National, because there's so many horses running. You can spread that amongst many horses and back them each way.
Yep.
Fingers crossed. So thanks very much. Don't forget to download the Grand National app, sign up with 188bet, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this page, and also comment below on Jake's unironed shirt. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Ross Casey. This is Jake Johns.
Bye.